r minus delta minus a half sigma squared, couldn't remember the name of that Greek letter, times t, okay, there's my mu, minus the standard, minus the variance. The variance was sigma squared t, all over v, so standard deviation, this is sigma square root t. So the denominator is good to go. Let's distribute this negative. This negative, remember, this negative is out front of everything. So this negative gets distributed all the way down here. So this is equal to, let's change the order. I mean, the negative is getting distributed. This is exactly what I want it to be. This is ln 0, s0 divided by k plus, because look what's going to happen here. I have positive sigma squared t, and here I have, this became positive. This is negative 1/2 sigma squared t. Positive sigma squared t minus a half sigma squared t is absolutely the following. This is r minus sigma plus a half sigma squared t all over sigma square root of t. This is d1. This is d1. So now we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting close. This is exciting. Look what we have. Look what we have. This is d1. So now what have I done? What have I done? This is equal to e to the mu plus 1/2 v squared n of d1. I'm not done yet. Let's see, am I? No, I'm not done yet. I want to simplify this because this is starting to look familiar, but it's not quite there. So this is e to the, what's mu? Mu is ln of s0 plus r minus delta minus 1/2 sigma squared times t plus 1/2. The variance was sigma squared t times n of d1. How convenient. Look at this. Look what's going on here. First of all, these cancel. Those are gone. This is equal to the following. This is equal to e to the ln s0. That looks nice. I can break it up at this sum times e to the r minus delta t times n d1. Boy, oh boy, this is like magic. S0 e to the r minus delta t n d1. Oh my. Let me just remind you of something real quick. I'm not going to prove this, but this is easy to prove. This right here, this is the expected value of s. In our case, I called s x. This is the expected value of x. Remember, keep in mind that x is the stock price at time t. That's exactly what that is. Man, this is looking so good. This is looking so great. We're almost there. So, look at what we have now. There's one other thing I need to prove to you. It's super easy. I don't know if I want to do it. I'm not even going to do it. It's just you do it. It's not hard. It's very easy. What do we have? We have now that the expected value of the expected stock price at time t, given that the stock price is greater than what I call the strike k. Remember, by definition, we already wrote this down. By definition, this is equal to the integral from k to infinity, okay, of x times f of x dx. We just found what this is, though. We just found what that is, divided by the probability that x is greater than k. Now, the one thing I wanted you to prove, which I'm not going to prove, is this fact right here. This right here, I want you to show that this is n of d2. This is where d2 is equal to This is easy. I mean, this is easy peasy. I'm just gonna write it real quick. D2 is equal to ln S0 over K minus a half sigma squared T. I'm missing something. Okay, this is where D2 is equal to ln of S0 over K plus R minus sigma minus 1/2 R minus delta minus 1/2 sigma squared T all over sigma square root of T. Okay, I want you to show that this piece is n of D2. If that's n of D2, look what we have. We just computed the numerator. I just spent all that time computing what the numerator is. So this is equal to S0 e to the R minus delta T times n of D1, okay? That was the numerator, divided by n of D2. Ooh, we are right there. We are right there. Okay, now, let me just finish this off. You should be thinking, I'm done. I'm pretty much done. I mean, if you see what we had before, we're done. So let's write it out. Let's write it out. The price of a call. After all this work. So what is the price of a call? So hence, the price of the call is this. Remember that the call with stock price, I called it X, strike K time T, okay? Again, we're thinking of X is really the stock price at time T. It's log normally distributed. I gave you the mean, I gave you everything, gave you the standard deviation, is equal to, how do we find it? We discount the expected payoff. We discount the expected payoff. Whatever the payoff is at time T, let me write that. We went through the details of this a moment ago, but the payoff at time T, I find the expected payoff, and I discount it back using the risk-free rate. So this is equal to, I went through this before, right? This is equal to, let me go where I left off, e to the negative RT times the expected value of X, right? We use the law of total probability and conditional expectation, right? Given X greater than K times, let's see, minus K, yeah, minus K times the probability X greater than K. We went through this. We had this before. Make the substitutions. This is equal to, distribute the probability, distribute this. This is equal to, let me just write it out, dang it. This is e to the negative RT times S0 e to the R minus delta T times n of D1 divided by n of D2 minus K times n of D2. Oh boy, we have it. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get to this point. We have it though. This is it. Distribute. Distribute both of those. This is exactly right. This is S0 e to the negative delta T n of D1 minus K e to the negative RT n of D2. Black-Scholes formula proof is complete. You can now use it at will, and I challenge you and salute you if you take the time to try to prove the things you're using. Thanks for tuning in.